Hey everybody, how's it going? So we've got Scott Elliott back on the show this week. How's it going, dude?
Going well. How are you?
Not too bad. Last week we had him in to talk about his new course, Guitar Tone Mastery, which is still available for this weekend only. And I thought it'd be really cool if we could discuss 5 things you need to know about impulse responses. So Scott, for the uninitiated, and believe me, because we still get this question all the time, is what is an impulse response?
Most simply, it's a snapshot of the cabinet. So just imagine you take a picture with your phone, you took a picture, snapshot. Now with a cab, it's literally the same thing. So all the characteristics of the cab at that moment of time in a picture. So that could mean the room, microphones, the position, the parameters,
Mic preamps, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So basically you're getting access to a much bigger studio than you might have, or better gear than you would have at your own home mixing position. So I work with Lancaster Audio. We've done all kinds of impulse responses. We've gone to all kinds of different places around the Los Angeles area and, gotten cool stuff like Lemmy's Cab and Brendan's Small stuff and, got the death clock sound. And not only just the cabinets and the mics, but the actual boards that stuff was run through to make those recordings. Like all of Lemmy's stuff went through Cameron Webb's Trident board. So we mimicked that exact signal path. So you get that tone. That's really cool. Now, when you're developing an amp sim tone at home at your desk, things might be a little fizzy, things might be a little muddy, that kind of thing. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. You're going to get a snapshot of that cabinet, but you need to still make it work in the course of your mix. And that's what Scott's course is all about.
Exactly. So you take the cabinet impulse, great, got all that cool gear, like you just said, that's awesome, but you still need to learn how to massage it. You still have to process it. You still need to pick the right one for the gear that you're using. So there still is a musical process that goes into it, which is basically why I created Guitar Tone Mastery, because it took me a long time to figure it out. And I think there are people that would just like to skip that part and just get right to creating awesome tones.
Right, exactly. Speaking of awesome tones, do you have anything loaded up you can play us?
I actually do. I have a tone. I brought out the old 6-string, as you can see behind me, and I have a sweet tone here.
Now, what amp sim did you do this with?
Ignite.
Nice. Okay, so freeware amp sim. Let's take a listen.
Yep.
So that was done with completely free effects you just downloaded online, right?
Exactly. And I even went one step further. I took time to find the right impulse. So if you look here on the...
Oh, no shit. That's completely everything's at 0.
Nothing. I've done nothing. So I just picked the right cabinet impulse for the song I was going for.
No shit. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I see you're using Pulse there, and that's something else I get all the time is, hey, how do I install Pulse? If you're on a Mac system, it's pretty simple. Just download the file from the Lancaster Audio website, click the DMG file, and then you just drag and drop. It couldn't be simpler. And then you load up your DAW of choice, go through your effects, and just find it in there. And on PC, it's pretty much the same thing. If you can just unzip a file and drag it into your DAW's VST folder, that's really all there is to it. And I don't know what DAW you're using, so make sure you go through the DAW's documentation, in other words, read the fucking manual, and see where your VSTs go. Oh, well, where do I use the impulses? It's a pretty simple process. You just click the folder icon on Pulse and then point it to whatever folder your impulses are. Now, I got to be clear here, okay? If you download Pulse and some impulses, that's not enough. You still need to have a virtual amplifier. In this case, Scott's been using Ignite Emissary, which is free, and you can find that online with a little Google search. No problem at all there.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, it's all really simple Google searches. And like I say, it's free. Free stuff is amazing sounding right now. And
yeah, you can get some really impressive results for free. Absolutely. The third thing you need to know about impulses is, why do they matter?
All right, because the sounds are all different. All right, so let me actually jump back into the DAW here. So that was the Angle Pro, right? So if I just load up a different impulse, I go to I have my own bundle here, Trimble Studios, and let's go with a Marshall. I have no idea what this impulse is going to sound like, but it will be different. So we remember what it sounded like, and now here's the Marshall. Completely different sound, right? So we have, this is all in my bundle, so I go with the Bogner. I'm just picking at random, have no idea what it is. Press play. Again, bang, another different sound. So the importance of all the different impulses are that you just have different sounds, more tonal palettes. And I think we pretty much get the point with that. So
Right.
more impulses, more sounds, more textures.
Exactly. And this is the cool thing. It's like you don't have to be just stuck with the one single snapshot. With Pulse, you can load two in and start doing blends and kind of find your own thing, which is a really cool feature.
Yeah, blending is amazing. That's really how you get your own voice in the world, actually.
Mm-hmm. Now, the one thing about the course here that I really liked more than anything was the fact that you don't just explain how to dial this stuff in, but you also explain why. And how do you do that? What's that all about?
Well, it's the why is the hardest question to answer for me anyway. And the why was all wrapped into what am I listening for? Why am I doing that? And so why do all these different cabinet impulses sound different? What do I do with them? And so I sat down and I figured out why this is happening. And it comes down to speaker characteristics, different texture tonal characteristics, more than just notch this, notch that, do this, do that. And so the why is because, for example, all these are different sounds. You cannot just have a arbitrary move on the tone stack of your amp, because if I did that and I went from a Marshall to a Bogner cab, it wouldn't work.
Right, exactly. Same thing with your EQ curves, that kind of thing. It's like you have to treat them differently based on the cabinet because there's so many variations, just even between speaker to speaker on the cabinet, not to mention cabinet to cabinet. Like you just heard, there's a massive difference in cabinet sounds.
Yeah, and I mean, you can go down the rabbit hole hardcore for real. I mean, if you had your own 4x12, like you said, each speaker could have a different voice too.
Absolutely. And yeah, so knowing what to listen for, that is a huge help. And that's exactly what your course teaches, is not just, hey, use your ears, but here's what you want to listen for and here's where to look.
I love that answer.
It's like that episode of The Simpsons where Lisa goes to tap dancing school. Okay, now tappa, tappa, tappa.
Tappa, tappa. I get it now. Awesome. Oh. It all makes sense, Glenn.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing. Okay, for the uninitiated, okay, how are they supposed to make sense of all this?
Well, I mean, you just got to be honest. I mean, you want to grab a source that tells you how to use everything and what to do and why, which is essentially why I created Guitar Tone Mastery. First of all, truth be told, I made it for myself so I could remember what the hell I'm trying to do.
Amazing.
It's true. I mean, because you can really get down the rabbit hole and lose your mind going, this guy said do that. This side, so I just refined it and formatted it for myself.
Okay.
And then as I got better at it, I was like, this is really cool. I mean, there are lots of people on forums and everywhere. They're like, how do I use this? So basically, you got to learn from someone who already knows how to do it, and then you can go off on your own.
All right. Well, I'm really glad you went through all this and did all that. That way I can just use your ideas and get better sounds instead of having to figure it out for myself. I spent years and years and years learning just how to record amps, but impulses are kind of, their own little discipline because they, react to guitar sounds a little bit differently. And there's certain things to watch out for, like fizz and mud and that kind of crap. And Scott lays it all out for you because he's done all the heavy lifting ahead of time, which is great. Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome. Have fun.
All right, so that's Scott Elliott from Chernobyl Studios. His Guitar Tone Mastery course is still on sale for $77. You get the course plus you get Scott's Impulse Pack as well as part of it, and you can join his online community as well if you buy Guitar Tone Mastery and get more help. Oh yeah, and you get free updates for life as well.
Yep, that's very important. There's some big things on the pipeline for that.
That's pretty freaking amazing. All right, so grab it now for $77. Links in the description below. Sale ends tomorrow night, Sunday night, so get it while you still can. Thanks for being on the show, Scott. We'll see you later.
Cheers, man. I appreciate it. Later.